What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Monday, and today we're going to continue our 31 Days of Disney with the superhero film Big Hero 6, featuring the voice talents of Scott Adsit, Ryan Potter, Daniel Henney, TJ Miller, Jamie Chung, Damon Wayans Jr., Genesis Rodriguez, James Cromwell, Alan Tudyk, Maya Rudolph, and Stan Lee. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Monday. Happy Monday. We're going to continue our journey through the 31 Days of Disney with the superhero film Big Hero 6. And our movie takes place in the futuristic city of San Francisco, where the 14-year-old high school graduate and robotics prodigy Hiro Hamada is competing in underground robot fights for a living, constantly dodging violent threats from his bitter, defeated opponents. Now, in order to get Hiro out of his dangerous lifestyle, his older brother Tadashi takes him to his research lab at the San Francisco Institute of Technology. There, Hiro meets Tadashi's friends, Gogo, Wasabi, Honey Lemon, and Fred, as well as his creation, Baymax, an inflatable healthcare robot, and his mentor, Professor Robert Callahan. Now inspired, Hiro gives up his robot fighting habits and applies to the university, impressing the school's showcase with his project, a swarm of tiny microbots that can link together in any configuration by using a neural transmitter. Callahan accepts him into the school, and Hiro rejects tech giant Alistair Cray's offer to buy his microbots. When a fire erupts moments later, Tadashi runs inside to save Callahan but dies when the building collapses after an explosion resulting from the fire. 2 weeks later, Hiro, who has isolated himself from his aunt and friends, inadvertently activates Baymax, and they follow his only remaining microbot to an abandoned warehouse where they discover someone has been mass-producing the microbots. A man wearing a kabuki mask attacks them with the microbot swarm, but they escape, and Hiro suspects that the masked man set the fire in order to cover his theft of the microbots. Now determined to avenge his brother's death, Hiro equips Baymax with armor and a chip programmed with martial arts moves for defense, and they return to the warehouse only to find it empty. At the nearby port, Baymax summons Tadashi's friends, and the group is attacked by the masked man, but they escape after driving into a lake. Once they resurface, the group goes to Fred's mansion, where Hiro upgrades Baymax's armor, and he and the others weaponize their various inventions in order to take on the masked man, who they suspect is Alistair Cray. They track the masked man to Cray's abandoned island lab, which they discover was used for teleportation research until a test pilot disappeared inside of a portal, leading the government to shut down Cray's experiment and seal off the island. The masked man suddenly attacks the group, but Hiro knocks off the man's mask, revealing him to be Professor Callahan, who was thought to be dead. Callahan reveals that he had actually escaped using the microbots to shield himself from the flames. Shocked and enraged that Tadashi died in vain, Hiro removes Baymax's healthcare chip and orders him to kill Callahan. But his friends intervene, and Honey Lemon reinstalls the chip at the last second. Callahan escapes with the microbots, and Hiro angered by his friend's prevention of his revenge on Callahan, flies off with Baymax, still intent on avenging Tadashi. When they return home, Hiro tries to remove the healthcare chip once again, but Baymax blocks his access port and shows him footage of Tadashi's numerous tests during Baymax's development, reminding Hiro that his brother's goal was to help others, not harm them. Hiro apologizes to Baymax and his friends, and through research they discover that the lost test pilot was Callahan's daughter, Abigail. Having stolen the microbots in order to seek revenge on Cray, Callahan reactivates the teleportation portal in order to destroy Cray and his headquarters during a ceremony. But Hiro, Baymax, and their friends defeat Callahan and save Cray. Baymax detects that Abigail is alive inside the portal, and despite Cray's attempts to keep him away from the portal because of its instability, Hiro and Baymax leap through and find Abigail trapped in hypersleep within her rocket. While helping Hiro transport Abigail out of the portal, Baymax is struck by debris and disables his thrusters, forcing him to fire his rocket fist, leaving him behind while propelling Hiro and Abigail back through the portal before it is destroyed. Abigail regains her consciousness and Callahan is arrested. Hiro joins his friends at the university and he discovers Baymax's healthcare chip still clenched in the rocket fist. He rebuilds Baymax and he and his friends continue to protect the city as a team of high-tech superheroes known as Big Hero 6. In a post-credit scene, Fred stumbles upon a secret superhero lair within his family mansion and is reunited with his father, who tells him that they have a lot to talk about as our movie comes to its close. Big Hero 6 was another one that's just, it's really fun to watch, but it's not one that I can watch over and over. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because when I thought I knew the big twist, I was completely wrong. And it still kind of eats at my soul a little bit. Because when they finally unmasked the masked man, and everyone thought it was going to be Aleister Cray, I thought it was going to be Tadashi. Wait a minute, Renegade. What are you saying here? You thought that the bad guy was going to end up being Hiro's brother? Yeah, I did. And here's why. The entire first 30 minutes of the movie is all about Tadashi trying to get Hiro to leave behind his reckless lifestyle and achieve his true potential. And nothing he seems to do is able to really get Hiro to take it to his potential and achieve the greatness that Tadashi knows is within him. So, what better way to make your brother reach that potential, achieve his greatness, than to fake your own death, become a supervillain, and push him that way? Because you look at everything he did once he thought Tadashi died. Hiro finally excelled, lived up to his potential. You look at all the tech he created. He was able to rebuild Baymax. He was able to reprogram him. He outfitted all of Tadashi's friends with tech and able to, weaponize them to fight the bad guy. And you look at what he was doing beforehand. Hiro finally came into his own and achieved his potential because of Tadashi's death. So if Tadashi had then been the villain, mask gets knocked off him. Tadashi, I thought you died. I did this so that you could achieve the greatness that I knew was within you, little brother. What a twist that would have been. Instead, we had this bitterness from Callahan, because he blamed Cray for the loss, death of his daughter, not realizing she was still alive the whole time, just in hypersleep. It's like it becomes this petty revenge tale when it could have been so much better, in my opinion. What do you guys think of the twist that I proposed? Would it have been better? Sound off in the comments and let me know. I did enjoy the cameo from Stan Lee as Fred's dad at the very end of the movie. I thought that was a great twist when you figure Big Hero 6 is a Marvel property, believe it or not. So, who's the king of Marvel? Stan Lee, baby. Throw him in there in a little brief cameo, like he always does in Marvel movies. Little voice appearance. Amazing little piece of icing on the cake there. I did enjoy the voice cast. I thought Damon Wayans Jr. did very well as Wasabi. His dad, obviously part of the Wayans family, the iconic Damon Wayans from In Living Color and Mo Money and Blank Man and all that other stuff. You got Jamie Chung as Gogo, who originally started off as a reality TV star on The Real World San Diego, which I watched back in the day because I was a huge fan of The Real World back in the days. So I saw her come up through there, and now she's become a legitimate actress since then. But the story, the voice casting, I thought it was all good. Like I said, I just feel like there's something that prevents me from rewatching this movie over and over again. Maybe again, it comes back to people thinking that this is a better movie than Frozen. And they're completely different. One is a superhero movie that at the end of the day is geared toward young boys. Because, not to sound sexist or anything, but more often than not, young boys want to be superheroes. While Frozen is more geared towards young ladies, because it's a strong message, it's a princess movie. So you're already targeting two completely demographics. But people that come and say that Big Hero 6 is better than Frozen, I'm like, it's not, bro. I'm sorry. People try to say that the Fallout Boy song Immortal is better than Let It Go. No, bro, I'm sorry. You're wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. Everybody's opinion is subjective. Remember, we always talk about that, but just look at the numbers. You're wrong. What do you guys think? Is Big Hero 6 better than Frozen? Is Immortals better than Let It Go? Sound off in the comments. But when it comes to my rating for Big Hero 6, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's good. My opinion, it's not as good as Tangled. It's not as good as Frozen. But what do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And we're going to be discussing Zootopia as part of our 31 Days of Disney, featuring the voice talents of Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, Bonnie Hunt, Tommy Chong, J.K. Simmons, Alan Tudyk, Shakira, Maurice LaMarche, John DiMaggio, Tom Lister Jr., and Josh Dallas. And then at the top of the hour following that, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time once again to open up the doors for Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. The food is hot, the beer is ice cold, and the seats are warm, so pull yourself up a bar stool as Stat Boy, Dory Lou, and myself discuss the top 10 sports films. And then later on in the evening, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. It'll be time once again for the flagship show, Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham. 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time, immediately following WWE NXT for you East Coasters. 7:05 p.m. Pacific Time, just prior to NXT for us West Coasters. The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham, will be back answering your questions and discussing anything and everything that is presented in the chats. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa Guillotine Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, Zootopia, Statboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou, Top 10 Sports Movies, and then Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham, all tomorrow. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa Guillotine Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, Talk Wrestling, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Marvel movies, fans of superhero movies, fans of Jamie Chung, fans of Damon Wayans Jr., fans of Stan Lee, fans of Big Hero 6. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.